All right, this is Introduction to Economics Part 2, and our essential question that we're looking at is how do economists think? So the first thing you need to work through in your brain is thinking on the margin. So this is an example. Here's a table with a number of times watching a movie, first, second, third time, and let's just say that someone's giving you money to watch the movie. If you watch the movie the first time, you get $30, second time you get $15, and the third time you get $5. However, you still have to pay for the movie, so the cost of the movie each time is $10. So the total benefit you would get if you watched it 3 times is $50, and the total cost is $30. So, looking at this table, would you see the movie all 3 times? Or would you stop at time 2 or time 1? And that's the difference of how economists think. Notice that the total benefit here is more than the total cost. So you're gonna come out with $20 no matter what. But most people would not watch that movie the 3rd time because that extra $5, you're gonna get the $5, but you're pulling out 10. So most people would stop at the 2nd time because of that extra little cost. When they come to the 3rd time, they're thinking, I don't really want to put out $5 to see it, so I'm just gonna stop. That idea that instead of looking at all or nothing and just looking at that one extra time, that's called thinking on the margin. So, economists, that's how they think when we're talking about choices and decisions that people make from the last lesson. They're not looking at an all or nothing kind of choice, they're looking at that marginal choice. So it's called marginal analysis. In economics, the term marginal is additional. It's that one extra thing. If we're going to do that one more hour, if we're going to watch that one more movie, what's someone's choice going to be? It's called thinking on the margin, or marginal analysis. It involves making decisions based on the additional benefit versus the additional cost. So not the total benefit or total cost, but that additional benefit and additional cost. So, for example, let's say you've been at the mall for half an hour. Should you stay another half hour? What's the additional cost of that half hour? What's the additional benefit of that half hour? Time or enjoyment with friends, getting another item at a store. Those are the kinds of things you're thinking about in just that one half hour. What about if you've already been at the mall for 3 hours and now you're trying to decide whether to stay another half hour? What's the additional cost? What's the additional benefit? So keeping that same example in mind, notice that the decision-making process wasn't all or nothing. It wasn't, should I go to the mall for 3 hours or should I stay home? It wasn't all or nothing. It started with, should I go to the mall at all? And then you decided to go, you went. And then once you were there, the question turned in, should I stay for an additional half hour or should I go? In this marginal analysis approach to decision-making is more commonly used than all or nothing. Even in our day-to-day life, we don't think about all or nothing decisions as often as we think about that additional time. We're already at the mall. Do we stay or do we leave? And sometimes that decision will change depending on how long we've been at the mall already. So you will continue to do something until the marginal cost outweighs the marginal benefit. So keep going, you'll keep going until you decide, you know what, I'm tired. An extra half hour is going to mean I don't have time to make dinner. You guys don't make dinner, but you know what I mean. I'm not going to have extra time with my friends at home or extra time for this, so I'm going to go ahead and go. Maybe that first half hour, I'm ready, I'm not done yet, I need to stay a little bit longer. So it's that additional time that you're talking about. And I put pistachios here because in class we talked about that. If you're in a room, we talked about that, so just remember that. Alright, so with that idea of marginal analysis, that's one way that economists think and an assumption that they make about the world. There are 4 other key economic assumptions that you also need to know, so let's make sure we have those. Number 1, society's wants are unlimited, but all resources are limited. Excuse me. So that's the idea of scarcity, that society, people want an unlimited amount of things and items and stuff, time, resources, but all of our resources to make those things are limited. Things are scarce. We're never going to be able to have everything. Number 2, Due to scarcity, choices must be made. Every choice has a cost. We'll talk more about this in the next lesson, but that's called a trade-off or an opportunity cost. And then everyone acts rationally by comparing the marginal costs and the marginal benefits of every choice. Day to day, people make choices based on the marginal costs and the marginal benefits, as opposed to the total costs and total benefits. All right. 4, everyone's goal is to make choices that maximize their satisfaction, and everyone acts in their own self-interest. That's an economic assumption. Whether you agree with it or not, that's what economists believe. And then 5, real-life situations can be explained and analyzed through simplified models and graphs. We're going to spend a lot of our time dealing with models and graphs this next semester, because economists believe that you can take those day-to-day life situations and choices and put them on a graph or a model and use them to predict or solve problems. So models and graphs. So these 5 things, marginal thinking, scarcity, people acting in their self-interest, making models and graphs out of real-life situations, those things are the basis of all economic thought. Everything that we're going to be doing is based on those 5 assumptions, how economists think.